Your
Good
Honor.
afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Kendrick Russell.
Thank you, Mr. Russell. Mr. Russell, you are here on 2 Superior Court probation violation warrants, and these are for violations of, or alleged violations of terms 1, 3, 4, 5, and 8. I have appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing October 16th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I am affirming the bond in each of the warrants. It's $10,000 in one, $1,500 in the other. So your total bond is $11,500. That's a secured appearance bond. That means you can pay those bonds directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. 10% of $11,500 would be $1,150. So if you pay your bonds, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates and promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol. You must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department and contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Mr. Russell, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. I understand everything. But, you know, I had a mishap. I need to get to, I'm having problems with memory and stuff.
I see.
And so I don't know. I just don't know what's going on really, but
Okay.
But I do understand what you're saying about the bond and stuff. Can I have a reduction at all?
Well, so Mr. Russell, because this is a probation judge that asked for these bonds, and the one in particular is pretty high, that generally means that judge wants that bond to be set that way. Okay. But you certainly will have an opportunity to speak with the probation judge on the 16th.
Okay.
And that judge may consider it.
Okay.
Regarding the memory thing, if you're thinking this is some sort of a medical issue, we do have excellent medical staff here, so make sure to talk to them about
I will.
that.
I already have started.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Mr. Russell, any other questions?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Russell. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Before I see Mr. Boyd, I just need to take a brief recess. We had a late ad that I just need to review. So just one moment, please. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Sean Allen Boyd, August.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd.
You're welcome.
Mr. Boyd, you're here on a Superior Court probation violation warrant. This is for alleged violations of terms 12 and 21. I've appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing scheduled October 16th, 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. Mr. Boyd, I am affirming the bond in the amount of $5,000. It is a secured appearance bond. That means you can pay that directly or work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. So 10% of $5,000 would be $500. If you pay your bond, you'll be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. Plus, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol. You must submit to fingerprinting at the arresting police department and contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Mr. Boyd, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I was wondering if the court can take in consideration that to OR me because under special circumstances. I'm a manager at a Silver Living Home, which is an IOP treatment center, and I'm responsible for taking all the clients to treatment every day and giving them medications every day. And they can't get their medication because I'm here and they're locked up in my room. And they have no way to get to treatment because I take a van. I take them to treatment every day. And I will go to court. I've lived in the house for 3 years. I would not be a problem. I talked to my probation officer already. You know, she says if I come out, just come to me. But it's really imperative I get there. I've been really stressing bad. I don't know what to do with all the guys living at the houses. I manage 3 houses. So
Right.
it's called Well Done Solutions. You know, all the guys are doing good and they need to go to the IOP and there's no way to get there. There's nobody to take them except me.
Okay. Well,
I will promise to come here on my court day, which is the 16th. I've
Right.
been a member of the community there for like 3 years in the same house as a manager. I mean, even on my probation violation, I have paperwork to actually exonerate me from it. I mean, I didn't go to one of my classes because they didn't get the paperwork in time, but I have the paperwork on hard drive. I just have no access to it. My probation officer didn't even get to see it yet.
yeah. And I know you
I
did
don't care about
before,
me.
right, when you were, right. No, and Mr. Boyd, I mean, I understand that that's a tough situation for you because people are relying on you, I guess.
Well, it's not me, it's just them, you know, I don't want them to miss their class, because there's all kinds of different mental things going on, and, yeah, it's,
Right. So the issue, though, is, I mean, it's twofold. One, the probation judge has asked for, you know, a fairly significant bond, $5,000, and in particular, looking at violations of Term 21 in particular, I'm not in a position that I could feel comfortable reducing that bond. So that's going to need to be something that the probation judge makes.
You can't reduce it or override it or nothing like that?
No, if the probation judge is asking for the $5,000 bond, because again, generally they're going to be asking for $250, $500, sometimes $1,000. So when they're asking for $5,000, that usually means they want the $5,000 bond. My experience is they always want the $5,000 bond. So I don't have enough information to feel comfortable reducing.
Well, would you want to make a phone call to the owner of the house, or?
No, I mean, even if the owner, Mr. Boyd, here's what I'll say is I would imagine the owner for the house would vouch for you and say, hey, you provide excellent services, you do good things. I'm not in any way saying you don't do those things.
Right.
What I'm saying is the probation judge looked at information to decide the $5,000 bond was the appropriate bond, and I'm not in a position to say.
So how much does that have to get out? Is that 10% or something?
Yeah, so if you work with a bail bonding company, you pay them 10%, $500. They then pay the $5,000, and you're able to be released.
Oh, I see. $500.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Boyd. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Mariah Harrison and then Jerry Stronach will be on deck. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and provide your date of birth?
Maria Harrison.
Thank you, Ms. Harrison. Ms. Harrison, you're here on 4 Superior Court probation violation warrants for alleged violations of terms 3, 4, 5, and 7. I have appointed you an attorney. You have a probation hearing October 16th to 8:30 a.m. at the downtown Phoenix Superior Courthouse. I am affirming the bond in each of the warrants. It's $1,500 in one, $2,500 in 2 of the others, and $500 in the third. So total bond is $7,000. That is a secured appearance bond, meaning you can work with a bail bonding company. They generally require 10% plus collateral. 10% of $7,000 would be $700. If you pay your bonds, you will be released. You're then promising to go to court on all of your court dates. You're also promising to comply with the standard conditions and restrictions of release. In addition, you're not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol. You must submit the fingerprinting at the arresting police department and contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. Ms. Harrison, do you have any questions?
Yes. Can I ask why the warrant was issued?
Certainly. Yeah, so the terms, it's for alleged violations of terms 3, 4, 5, and 7. So terms 3 and 4, terms 3 and 5, that's for absconding. And so, you know, you went for such a long time without having any contact with probation. So that's, and then did not reside in a residence approved by the adult probation department.
Yeah, I did the month at Crossroads, the month at the Sober Living live-in, and then I did over 3.5 months. And while I was doing the 3.5 at Choice, my insurance messed up, and during that time I was trying to reinstate my insurance is when the warrant was issued. And then I tried calling probation back, and I had texts and calls and everything trying to get a hold of them, but nothing until recently.
Well, right, you haven't had contact with probation since June.
Right.
And so that's the issue. The other issue is that you have multiple prior violations. So,
Okay.
Meaning that, I mean, unfortunately, that you would know if you don't maintain contact with probation,
Right.
that it's inevitable that you'd end up here and have to pay a bond.
Okay. Is there any way I can get that modified?
No, not at this time. The probation judge may decide to modify it.
Okay.
Again, what I would say to you, Ms. Harrison, because again, looking at the notes, I mean, you know, they're noting that this is a recurring issue of staying in contact with probation. And I'll tell you, there are people who, no matter what happens, what circumstances, you know, losing where they're staying, losing phones, whatever the case may be, they'll make sure to make contact with probation no matter what, because they realize otherwise they end up here.
Okay.
And they do everything so that they don't.
Right.
And I see them sometimes. When I see them, it's almost always because they've relapsed. And generally when that happens and I see somebody's done everything they need to do, it's really easy for me to say, hey, you know what, let's get you on your way because you're trying hard. But when there's other people that there's always a reason not to have contact, right? Or to, not do what they're supposed to do. And unfortunately, then they keep coming back here. And so my hope for you really is that you can say, hey, you know what, this is it. This has not worked so far. I want to be in column A and make sure that no matter what happens, I'm going to contact my probation officer. Even if something fell through, if something didn't go right, I'm still going to be in touch with my probation officer. Hey, what else can I do? What else do I need to do? Ideally, you do everything they tell you to do, but even if you make mistakes, let your probation officer know right away and keep that communication. And again, generally that's going to mean that you're not going to have to come back here, or that if you do, you'll be able to leave right away.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Harrison. Good luck to you.